Hi everyone, it's Dr. Campbell and I am back with another ICD-10 CM Coding Guidelines review. And today we're going to focus on Chapter 12, which are the diseases of the skin and subcutaneous tissue. So these codes fall under the code range of L00 through L99. First up, we have our Pressure Ulcer stage codes, which fall under category L89. This particular family of codes for pressure ulcers identifies the site of the ulcer as well as the stage of the ulcer. And I want to emphasize that these codes are for pressure ulcers because we're going to talk about non-pressure ulcers, but these are for pressure ulcers. So the stages are actually designated based on the severity of the ulcer, which are defined as to stages 1 through 4. But then we have unspecified stage as well as unstageable. Per guidelines, you are to assign as many codes as you need to from category L89 to identify all of the pressure ulcers that the patient has. So what that means is the patient can have multiple pressure ulcers in different anatomical locations, and so you want to capture codes for all of those specific sites. Okay, so we have situations where the stage is actually unstageable. Here, you want to allow your clinical documentation to guide the code assignment for unstageable. And this is used when the provider cannot clinically determine the stage of the pressure ulcer and pressure ulcers that are documented as deep tissue injury, but not documented as due to trauma. Now, these codes should not be confused with unspecified. They both start with a letter U, but we're talking about unstageable. So it should not be confused with unspecified stage. Those are actually two different code families. Now, as it relates to the documented pressure ulcer stage, again, I want to emphasize that you're going to make your code decisions based on the clinical documentation of the stage or documentation of the terms found in the alphabetical index. In those situations where you have clinical terms describing the stage that are not found in the alphabetical index, that's where we begin our coding process, you of course want to query your provider. All right, now we can also have situations where the pressure ulcer has healed. If the provider states that the pressure ulcer is completely healed, no code is assigned. Now, what about when the ulcer is documented as healing? Here, you're going to assign the code based on the stage that's documented in the medical record. If the documentation does not provide information about the stage of the healing pressure ulcer, assign the appropriate code for unspecified stage. Again, if the documentation is unclear as to whether or not the patient has a current pressure ulcer or is being treated for a healing pressure ulcer, query the provider. Lastly, as it relates to healing, if ulcers were present on admission but healed at the time of discharge, you're going to assign the code for the site and the stage of the pressure ulcer at the time of admission. All right, speaking of admission, if a patient is admitted into inpatient with a pressure ulcer at one stage and then it progresses or evolves to a higher stage, two codes should be assigned. One for the site and the stage at admission, and then a second one for the site and the stage, the highest stage that was reported during that hospital stay. And lastly, non-pressure chronic ulcers. So we got some terms that look familiar. Healed. If the provider states that the patient has a non-pressure ulcer that is completely healed, no code is assigned. If it is documented that the non-pressure ulcer is healing, the appropriate non-pressure ulcer code should be assigned based on the documentation. If the documentation does not provide information about the severity of the healing non-pressure ulcer, you're going to use the unspecified code. If the documentation is unclear, just like with your pressure ulcers, if the documentation is unclear as to whether or not it's a current or a new non-pressure ulcer, or if this is a healing ulcer, you want to query the provider. And for ulcers that were POA, present on admission, but healed at the time of discharge, you're going to assign the code for the site and the severity of the non-pressure ulcer at the time of admission. And we also have a guideline here for situations when the non-pressure chronic ulcer is progressing or evolving. If the patient is admitted and they're at one severity level and then it progresses to another severity level, you're going to assign two codes. One for the site and severity at admission, the second code for the site and the highest severity that was reported during the hospital stay. All right, guys, well, this has been another ICD-10 CM Coding Guidelines review. Dr. Campbell signing out and thanking you so much for listening. Have a great day.